Hello, fellow Canadians. I love you all. And I'm here today to give you all a little bit of advice. I know you're all busy working hard and paying your dues, and I commend you. I commend you 100%, and I thank you. However, do you not feel that your government and law enforcement agencies are taking advantage of your tax dollars? Every single year, keeping in mind RCMP, politicians, Game and Wildlife, CBSA, they're all human, so they make mistakes. And yet they cost us millions of dollars every year because of their mistakes. And on top of it, if you notice, the cops and all these places now, agencies and politicians are always asking us for our help. That's enough help. You do your tax dollars, don't get involved, okay? Because they're ripping you off. When Canada gets sued from an RCMP being too violent or not doing their job right, or same with CBSA ripping apart people's vehicles, it's your tax dollars paying those lawsuits on top of paying their wages, right? So I'm going to give you some advice. Like the Game and Wildlife, okay? Here's an example. I live under the jurisdiction of common law. And they think I'm going to pay a fishing license, a piece of paper telling me I can fish. Now, first off, okay, it's my right to fish. God gives me that right. Our Charter of Rights claims, okay, my ancestors fought for those Charter of Rights and Freedoms, okay, and it says I have a right to religion. Our laws, okay, were adopted from England, who adopted law. Real law were the Ten Commandments, okay, and they all adopted it from the Bible. And if you look at the King James Version of the Bible, it'll say that the Queen is head of the Commonwealth, and that she is defender of the faith. Our Charter of Rights states we have a right to our religion and belief. So therefore, Mr. Game and Wildlife, I fish without a fishing license. Okay, and the first time you bother me, okay, again I should say, I got videos of the first one, right, Lester? You moron. Okay, so anyways, that's a little joke between me and Lester. And anyways, if you go in to say like Canadian Tire and want to buy a gun, okay, a rifle to go hunting, they will ask you for your FAC, hunting license, and picture ID. Now, Canadian Tire will sell me a fishing pole and all the equipment I need to go fishing without IDing me. So that's the first flaw, yet hunting and fishing card is under the same kind of section, right? Second of all, because I live under the jurisdiction of common law, I do not have a permanent address. How is a person supposed to get a fishing license without a permanent address? Been there, done that, it's been refused. Okay? Just to prove my point, right? So you'll see there's lots of flaws in our system and you need to know your rights. Ride checks, okay? Yes, okay, they can catch a odd impaired driver here and there, but really, Christmas holidays, my lady comes up from America to see me, and this ride check, she's always sober, of course. In fact, she don't drink or smoke or marijuana or do any of that stuff that people do. Um, and yet she's got to be obstructed from point A to point B with an illegal, and this is an illegal checkpoint. It's on a public road, which our tax dollars pay for, okay? And she's obstructed more time, okay, by them asking their silly little questions. I think the police would catch more impaired drivers if they sat outside the pubs and the bars, and stopped obstructing and implied indirectly that us Canadians or travelers in Canada are impaired, okay? It's obstruction of our right to move freely from point A to point B. So you roll down your window, you don't answer their questions. You say, am I being detained? Am I being detained? Do not open both sides of your windows, okay? Because then they'll get a cross breeze and they will think they have a reason to search your vehicle and say we smelt weed or booze or whatever. Okay, so only open your window this much and just keep saying, am I being detained? Am I being detained? Okay, call a lawyer, okay? Do what you have to do, but let them know you're fed up of this babysitting and bullying that they do. CBSA. Oh, I have a few choice words for them, but I won't say it on this video, but I'll give you an example. I flew in from the States and back into Canada, and I don't fill out their declaration card, okay? And that's because on a long travel, okay, or anyone traveling, you're focused on your travel. You're packing, you're tired from your trip, you had a beer on the plane, whatever. As soon as you have one beer, you're impaired, okay? You don't have to fill out that card anyway because they have to let you back into Canada. Now, myself, when I traveled back into Canada, I had no luggage, no nothing, and I don't fill out their card. Now, they took a look at me. I was dressed all in green, and they use their little suspicions and everything, Oh, you could be carrying a gun. After the security I went through in America, I could be carrying a gun. Okay, so that's the first stupid thing that doesn't make me proud. That CBSA is our front lines, protecting our borders. Then I'm at an airport and they ask me where my car is, knowing I just got off a plane. Where's my car? Okay, then I got onto a Greyhound, and a paralegal on the Greyhound took pictures of CBSA following me all through Canada. Yes, a paralegal. They're very abusive, invasive, and intrusive, and this is our tax dollars. Another time I was refused into America. I didn't have the right paperwork, but corrected that and got into America. But anyhow, it was on the Niagara Falls border. And I had just went through the whole search at America, okay? And if any of you have been on the American border, in Niagara Falls there on the bridge, you know that they turn you right around. So there's no possible stop that you could pick up anything illegal or transport it. Yet, there was a white shirt, okay, and there was in total about 8 or 10 of them searching the vehicle, threatening to take it. And I had a note, and they said, well, you can't drive this vehicle in Canada. But if you check their website, if you have a note, permission from the owner of that American vehicle, you're allowed to drive it in Canada all you want. And besides, again, I'm going to mention, it's your right, it's your tax dollars. And CBSA don't like me, and I don't like them, okay? We don't get along. Don't fill out your declaration cards because you're only consenting if you make a mistake. So one of the questions, do you have $10,000 in cash or more or whatever, right? Whatever it is. If you go over that because you're tired or you had a beer on the plane or train or whatever, you're just exhausted from your travel, you've now signed that declaration card, okay? And you don't have to sign it, trust me. If you're Canadian and you're coming back into your country, know your Charter of Rights, okay? Don't sign that paper. If they continue to harass you, okay, as a Canadian citizen, can put civil charges upon them. You take them to civil court. You serve them the papers, okay? And once they have a criminal charge on them, they can't work. They can be suspended with pay or without, but until the proceedings are done by Canadian law, okay, our courts have to take every claim seriously. Cops, game wardens, you name it, can all be civilly charged, okay? There's so many flaws in our system now that are breaching our freedoms and our Charter of Rights. It's almost a kick in the face to our ancestors who died and shed their blood for the freedom we have that they're slowly diminishing and taking away from us with our tax dollars. It's time to stand up and it's time to fight. In the proper minded way, okay? You need to stand up. Whether everyone just stop working for a whole day and make the government lose revenue, do it once a month until they give us our freedoms back, right? And they stop obstructing us and stop making our life hard. So, like I said, game wardens and all, you have a right to your religion and your beliefs, and they can't stop you. Okay, they can give you a ticket, and if they give you a ticket, okay, you take them to civil court, okay, for obstruction of your right to pursue happiness in life, your right to your religion and belief, and you charge them. It's as simple as that. Like I said, the Queen, Queen Elizabeth II, is the defender of the faith. She has to back it up. Now, we have a Governor General. This is the funny thing. She plays devil advocate, okay, because the Queen herself knows actual law. And the Queen could never sign off on, say they made a silly law that you now have to wear 2 seatbelts instead of 1. The Queen could never sign off on that, and that's where the Governor General of Canada comes into play. She plays the devil's advocate, and she signs off. So the Queen still saves face on being the defender of the faith, right? So any bylaw, okay, is not real law. Real law is the 10 Commandments, okay? Thou shalt not trespass. So here's another point here with the thou shalt not trespass. If we buy a cell phone, and we're paying it and it's in our names, we'll give CSIS or CBSA the right to rifle through it remotely. It's a form of trespassing, cyber trespassing, right? Thou shalt not trespass. Get into their oaths with them, question them, do what you have to do, but stand up for your rights logically and in the right way, of course. It's crazy what our country is becoming, okay? Canadians, we need to grow more of a backbone and stop worrying about so much of our material items and stand up for our rights. The more you stand up for your rights, the more freedom you're going to have and less debt, trust me. Do you think it's right that everywhere you go, you got to show ID of your personal information? There's something wrong with that. You're showing a perfect stranger your ID with your license, or they're telling you you're not going to get that service yet. Okay, you read your Charter of Rights, you have a right to those services. Even a homeless guy without ID, anything, has a right to all services, and he has a right to live in any province and pursue personal gain, anything, okay? You have a right to those services. Don't show your ID. I walk around without any ID, and I get by. Know your rights again, right? If you get a ticket, don't sign it. The cop will give you the ticket. He'll ask you if you want to sign it. As soon as you're signing something, you're consenting. Okay? It's like that declaration card. If you make a mistake on it, they're now going to say, you signed it. Look it. That's your signature. You signed it. You consented. Now we're going to take your money from you because you had $10,200 and you're $200 over. So now we're going to take it, and it's going to help pay for the last lawsuit that we got because we fucked up. kind of thing. Okay? So, ask a cop. I've done this. Okay? Challenge them. Ask them if they believe in God. Talk God with them. And I've had one cop say, no, he didn't believe in God. I said, oh. I said, are you at least a proud Canadian? And he goes, oh, yeah, very proud, very proud. And I said, do you sing the national anthem if you go to a hockey game or something? And he goes, oh, yeah. He goes, yeah, I'm proud. And I said, so why do you're a hypocrite because you ask God in our national anthem to keep our land glorious and free. The cop walked away, went to his car, and drove away. Boy, my friend and I had a good laugh. Okay, so anyways, there's so much I'd like to share with you, and I got videos coming of just how corrupt our country is and how corrupt the cops are and game wardens and everything. But you get a ticket, don't sign it. Mark a black box on the back of it in black magic marker. It's a legal box. Do not sign anything. Just put not my jurisdiction. The word jurisdiction is very powerful and they have to respect it. You tell them that you follow the laws of God, the 10 Commandments, and that your jurisdiction is of common law. For real. Why would they think it's okay that they can take your car, okay, that you paid for, because they call it law, if you didn't pay a fine or something, right? That's your property. You paid for it. So our government, with our tax dollars, is saying it's okay, they can steal from us and make us work harder and worry and get more health problems? Think about that, okay? God did not intend life to be this way. Stand up for your rights. And if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Okay? I'm here. And I got lots of answers. And I stand up for my rights. And I'm going to stand up for your rights and help you all. But you got to help me. Help you. Have a good day, my fellow Canucks. And that discludes CBSA. That discludes the Game and Wildlife. Politicians. I'm not telling you to have a good day. Or you cops. Any of you. As far as I'm concerned, you can rot in hell and have a miserable day. Cheers.